believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you something much more interesting. I want you to imagine yourself standing before a door. It is an odd yet inviting door. You unlock this door with the key of your imagination. When you open this door, you find yourself in a strange new world. A world made of horror, adventure, and fantasy. A world that pushes the boundaries of what you know and what you don't. To all those that pass through the door, I bid thee welcome, for you are now in the realm of the Geek Zone.
And that's why you should never underestimate a pickle.
Justin, can you hear me?
What was that?
Oh, it's my computer, the one I was telling you about. Go ahead, Beta.
Justin, Alpha completed the work on the new targeting crystal. Are you ready for it to be transported to you?
Bring it on. That's it?
That's it.
Cool. Hey, Chef, why don't you hand me my transporter, and while I'm installing it, I can do another episode.
You mean you're gonna do an episode under your own free will?
Need no comment from the peanut gallery. Roll camera. Happy Easter, everyone. Welcome to the Geek Zone. I'm your host, Justin T. Sutherland. If you're like me, you're probably going to be spending time with family this holiday, but when you get bored with that, you're going to want to do something more interesting. So slip off alone, pull out your Game Boy Advance, and let's dive into Aladdin.
Based on the classic game for the Super Nintendo and Disney's animated film, Disney's Aladdin joins the Game Boy Advance library with all new features. In this side-scrolling platform game, you'll take the role of Aladdin and his mischievous monkey Abu as they throw apples, climb ropes, and ride magic carpets to find their destiny. Disney's Aladdin features a bonus stage for each level and a variety of environments to explore, including Jafar's castle, the genie's lamp, and an ancient pyramid. Something I find weird about this game was it was released on August 1st of 2003 in Japan, March 19th of 2004 in Europe, and September 28th of 2004 in the US. So, question. Why was the US last to get this game, given the fact that the movie that it was based off of was a US movie? You would think that because the movie it was based off of was a US movie and the company having the game made was based in the US, that the US would have first dibs. Makes my brain hurt. Well, now the question is, was it worth the wait? Well, let's find out. The controls are extremely fluid and well done. They do what they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it. Controls get a 5 out of 5. The graphics in this game are, in my opinion, top of the line considering that it is the Game Boy Advance. The colors are bright and vibrant. The characters and the world are detailed and smooth. The only complaint I have is that it feels at times that the graphics may be a bit too much for the system, and the game seems to lag NES style when there is too much happening on the screen. But it is small and not a major thing, so graphics get a 4.8 out of 5. This game is pretty straightforward. No, there isn't a tutorial in the game, which is one of my biggest pet peeves about any game, but in this game, it's easy to overlook. The only controls you have to learn is the directional pad, which is self-explanatory, the jump button, A, the throw an apple button, R, and the parachute button, L. This game is very simple, and even if you have about as much experience with video games as Vice President Biden has with self-censorship, you should still have no problem learning this game. Pick up and play factor gets a 4.9 out of 5. The replay factor for this game is both good and bad. Good in the aspect that every time you play you get a little further than you did before. Bad in that once you learn how to beat the game, it becomes a simple task after that. However, this hasn't stopped me from playing it again and again, so replay factor gets a 3.7 out of 5. The sound in this game is nice. Not Elder Scrolls nice, but still nice. You have various kinds of melodies and they are dependent on what is going on around you. Not to mention, they are just cool to listen to. If they ever start releasing old video game music on CDs, this is one I wouldn't mind having. Sound gets a 4.5 out of 5. Okay, so the story in this game is similar to the movie. You play as Aladdin, who is fighting his way to the castle in order to face off against Jafar, who is terrorizing the city. That's it. Story gets a 3 out of 5. Now, here's the question. Would I want to play this game?
Do woodchucks chuck wood?
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I simply love this game. My first encounter with it was on the Super Nintendo, and this is a perfect example of a port to handheld done right. Wanna Play Factor gets a 4.9 out of 5. Now let's tally up the score. Control, 5 out of 5, A++. Graphics, 4.8 out of 5, A+. Pickup and Play Factor, 4.9 out of 5, A+. Replay Factor, 3.7 out of 5, C-. Sound, 4.5 out of 5, A-. Story, 3 out of 5, D-. Wanna Play Factor, 4.9 out of 5, A+. Total, 30.8 out of 35, giving Aladdin for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance an 88%. Congrats, Aladdin, you get a grade of B+. Now, would I recommend this? Heck yeah, this game is awesome! If you want a prime example of a Game Boy Advance game done right, this is it. Anyone who has a Game Boy Advance needs to have this game in their library. No exceptions. Well, that does it for this episode. If you'll excuse me, I have to go play poker and swindle people in the Old West while being funny and awesome. Later.
We now return you to your normal broadcast. Thank you.
All the people in the left wing, rock, and all the people in the right wing, rock, and all the people in the underground, rock. By myself, stupefied, coming back again.
Bye.